Good morning, children. So we are going to start the next session for our chapter, that is cell, fundamental unit of life. So for this segment or this session, what we are going to learn in the last class, what we have learned. So we have learned what are the different components of the cell, how it is important for all the activities of life. Then what are the different components, we are going to learn one by one. So today we are going to learn how the living cells are different from the dead one cells, how the solutions are giving effect on the cells. Okay, then next we are going to learn about the nucleus. Okay, now first in the last chapter what we learned, in the last session we learned about the cells. Okay, so cells, what are the cell membrane, how the cell wall is, and what are the different components and how they are responsible for the different functions. Okay, now we are going to learn how the living cells responding for the solutions when you are observing under the microscope. Okay, we are taking for this activity to observe these functions of the cells. So we are going to take a rheolite. Okay, so what is a rheolite, which is usually we use for our activities. So first we have to put this rheolite on in the water and put on a slide and observe under the microscope, that is a high power microscope. Then take out the slide, put a drop of a strong solution of salt or the sugar solution. After putting the drop of a salt or the sugar solution, we are going to observe again that under the microscope. Okay, the strong solution, what it called, is a hypertonic solution. Okay, then after observing, note down the observation, then take another leaf or the same leaf we can go through after noting down the observations. Then this leaf has to be kept in the boiling water. That means you are killing the cell. The living cells are going to be killed when you dip this leaf or the rheolite in a boiling water. Then after keeping it in the boiling water, take out that leaf, again mount on the slide. Then observe under the microscope. Note down your observations. Yes. Then next, what is the step? You are going to put a hypertonic solution, a strong solution of sugar and water. Then put a drop of that solution on the same slide. That leaf you kept on it. Okay. Then observe again your observation under the high power microscope. So what you are going to see the differences between the cells. What happens to the cells when you do this in the first step? When the cells are without boiled. So what you are saying, when you keep the hypertonic solution, a strong solution, what happened? Whatever the water contained in the cell, they move out. Okay. Then, because they move out, that leads to the plasmolysis. Cell loses the water due to the outer side or the outer environment having a hypertonic solution. So that means the cell will die definitely because of the losing of water and the nutrients. That is leads to the plasmolysis. After killing into that, after putting into the boiling water, killing the cells, again putting on the solution, you won't see any changes or you won't see the flashing or shrinkage of the cells under the microscope. Sometimes the shrinkage leads to the plasmolysis, not always. Okay, sometimes they are just shrink and regain the size. So when you observe the changes in the size of the cells under the microscope due to the adding before the boiling and after the boiling in the water, or before the boiling in the water and after the boiling in the water, you can see the plasmolysis or shrinkage of the cells in the living cells only. When you boil it, cells will die. You won't change, you won't observe any changes before and after the boiling the leaf, putting into the solution. So there is no sense after killing the cells, putting the cells into the solution. No changes in the size. Size of the cells remain the same. Okay, depending on the color. So changes of the size of the cells depend upon where the cells are kept. If they kept in the hypertonic solution, sometimes shrinkage of the cells leads to the plasmolysis because due to the cell water or the cell loses the water. If you keep cells in the hypotonic solution, a minor or dilute solution of the salt and the sugar, then what happened? The cell gains the water due to the osmosis. Absorption of intake of water will be more in the cells. Due to that, cell increases in the size. That time, the cell wall, we learned in the last class, the cell wall helping for maintaining the pressure which is created inside. That is due to the gaining of water due to the osmosis process. So that cell wall sometimes protecting and withstanding the pressure which is created inside. Sometimes that also doesn't maintain if the pressure is more. So cell burst. So due to the high incoming of the high quantity of the incoming of water inside the cell may go to the bursting of itself. Okay. That happens in the hypotonic or the dilute solutions. Okay. Then coming to the one of the organelle. Today we are going to learn very important cell organelle, that is a brain of the cell. We call it as a nucleus. Okay. Right. Now coming to the nucleus. Who discovered the nucleus? We told that cell has discovered. The scientists, we know that Anton von Leeuwenhoek observed the animalcule. Then Robert Hooke has taken the initiation to observe the cells. Then coming each organelle is observed by some of the scientists. So one of the organelle, what we are telling is a nucleus. Okay, nucleus is a very important, like brain in the humans, a brain in the animals, like nucleus in the cell. Okay, which is discovered by Robert Brown in 1831. Okay, now nucleus is having its own parts, are divided into 4 parts: nuclear membrane, nucleoplasm, chromatin material, then nucleolus. Now coming to one by one each for the experiment. Nuclear membrane, it is a double layered. When you observe nuclear membrane, it is a double layer having a pores. These pores are helping for the transferring the nutrients, or sometimes the granule which is present as RNAs can transfer the RNAs to the cytoplasm. Nuclear membrane also segregate or separate the nucleoplasm from the cytoplasm, and these pores helping for the transfer of materials from in to out or from the cytoplasm to the inside. Okay, coming to the nucleus position, as I said in the earlier classes, nucleus at the center of the cell, in which it will be in the animal cell, but it is pushed to the periphery. In which cell? It is in the plant cell, isn't it? Seeing the position of the nucleus, we can identify which kind of cell it is, or plant cell or the animal cell. By seeing itself, you can say. Now coming to the next part, that is the nucleoplasm. This is gelatinous dense material which is a granular in cell. It is having the dense fluid which is composed of chromatin material and also nucleolus is a solid mass. Okay. Coming to the what is the chromatin material? So the chromatin material, coming to the next part, is again it is when the cell is going to be divided, it becomes a long thread-like structures called chromosomes. Okay, which are, if they are not going to divide, it is a coiled network of DNA. It's a massive in nature, a dense material when the cell is not dividing. What the dense material is doing? What for responsible it is? It is responsible for the composed of DNA, storing the information for the next generation. So DNA, what is the full form of DNA? So what components of that chromatin material is DNA and protein. What for responsible for the DNA? DNA is responsible for the hereditary characters which are transferring from one generation to the next, or from the parents to their offsprings. Okay. Coming to the whatever the characteristic features present in the cell, which is carried forward from DNA from one to the next cell. When cell divides 1 to 2, the next 2 new cells are having the same characteristics what the older one or parental cell is having. The next is nucleolus, which is more or less round in shape. Okay, nucleus is a dense nucleoplasm. So what it composed of? It is composed of RNA. What is RNA again? RNA is ribonucleic acid. Okay, this RNA is responsible for that is protein synthesis. That is RNA, tRNA is coming out from the nuclear pores to the cytoplasm for the synthesis or the sequential arrangement of the RNAs for the formation of protein. Now what are the different functions of the coming to the nucleus? So as I said, nucleus is the brain of the cell. It is a controller, it is a planner, it controls all the activities of the cells. It controls the reproduction of the cell. Okay, it controls that regulating the activities, it controls the cell division and etc. So it is the most important component compared to other organelles. Now what are the nucleic acid? What are the nucleoids? Okay, when the nucleic acid or the nuclear material is not composed under the nuclear membrane or not surrounded by the nuclear membrane. So nuclear material or nucleic acid is floating in the cytoplasm. So that cells are called nucleoid cells. Example are bacteria are the most well-known nucleoids. Why they called nucleoids? Because there is no nuclear membrane to surround the genetic material, which is called nucleic acid. So that kind of cells are prokaryotic cells. Pro means they are primitive and karyon means the nucleus. So they are primitive nuclear cells which are not having the main component which has to surround the nucleic acid or the nuclear material or the nuclear membrane. So in the next session we are going to see the further details of the cell organs.